Let's take a look at problem 5.1a. This explores the dividend discount model. What the dividend discount model says is to value a company's stock, value the cash flows it's going to produce. And what are the cash flows of a stock? Dividends. So to basically figure out how many dollars worth of dividends we're going to get over time, discount those cash flows to today's dollars, that'll tell you the price of the stock, or the value of the stock, I guess is a different way of saying it. So suppose Benson Industries has just paid a $5 per share dividend, and it is announced that it plans to increase dividends by 3% per year going forward. The company's equity cost of capital is 10%. Okay. So what's the price of the stock today? We're going to use this formula. This is the dividend discount model with a growth rate to the dividend, and this is the formula. So P0 is just a value of the stock today. So the price today, or the appropriate price today, that equals D1, which is the dividend amount in 1 year, so our expected dividend in 1 year, divided by R, which is our required rate of return, our discount rate. And G is the dividend growth rate. And in this question, we're just given all this information, or most of it. We certainly have enough information to go on to solve the problems. Let me change my ink color and let's get to it. So what's the stock price today? So we're solving for this P0. Well, what is the dividend going to be in a year? We know the dividend's $5 yesterday. What's it going to be a year from now? Well, it's going to grow by 3%, so $5 times 0.03. I can do that in my head. I think it's 15 cents. 5 times 0.03 is 0.15. So it's going to grow by 15 cents. So it's going to go from $5 to $5.15. That's 3% growth. So D1 is 5.15. We'll divide that by R minus G. R is our required rate of return, or equity cost of capital in this case, 10%. And the dividend is going to grow by, whoa, that was crazy. Things slipped away on me there. 10% minus 3%. That's our growth rate. So 5.15 divided by 10 minus 3, 5.15 divided by, I'll put 0.07 into my calculator. So 5.15 divided by 0.07 equals $73.57. That's the value that the dividend discount model would put on this stock. Now, there's millions of other factors that go into an actual stock price, but this is one way of considering the value of the stock. So that's A, and we've solved. Let's move on to B. What's the price going to be in 5 years? Well, revisiting our formula here, P5 equals D6, right? P0 equals D1. Well, P5, we got to figure out what's the dividend in 6 years, divided by R minus G. So R minus G are the same. We got to figure out D6 in this whole equation. So what is the dividend at time 6? Well, we know the dividend at time 0 is $5, and we know it grows by 3% a year. So we're going to say times 1.03 to the 6th power, and that's going to give us our dividend at time 6. So 1.03 to the power of 6, 1.19 times 5. So our dividend, if it keeps growing at 3%, after 6 years, it's going to be $5.97. So our D6 is 5.97. We'll divide that by R minus G, 10 minus 3. It's still 7%, or 0.07, I guess is what I'll do. So 5.97 divided by 0.07. $85.29. Okay, so there we have what we would anticipate the stock price to be in 5 years. What about in 20 years? Well, we say, well, the price at 20 is D21 divided by required rate of return minus the growth rate, dividend growth rate. So 5 times 1.03 to the 21st power, 21 years of dividend growth. Going to be a big number here, 1.03 to the power of 21. 1.86 times 5. 9.3, basically 9.301. Okay, so that's my D at time 21, my dividend at time 21, 9.301, divide by, again, R minus G is still the same, 10 minus 3 is 0.07. Now, again, projecting forward 21 years, companies change their dividend, growth rates change over time, but this is just, an exercise, like a calculation exercise. 9.3 divided by 0.07, 132.88. So our answer to A, $73, answer to B, $85, and our answer to C, $132. I hope I helped you with this, and as always, if I helped you, I hope you'll help me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.